G'day Pittsburgh Steelers fans, g'day Steelers Nation Australia, g'day Steelers Nation Worldwide, g'day Steelers Nation Universe. Jeez, that guy's still a loser. The real tight spot and Christian cunts, they go together. They go together like cheese and wine. G'day mate, how's it going? How are you?
It's going great, Mark. How are you today?
Yeah, good man. I'm I need to know your name. I don't know your fucking name. What is your name?
I've actually told you my name before when we were in.
Yeah?
When you were in my chat, yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't think you have.
Well, no. I'm following your page on. We talked already via chat.
I don't remember
because I like the page with my real name. Remember?
Oh, I do, but I don't. I've had a few beverages. Let me guess. You talked to me yesterday. John.
Yeah.
That's not, is it John?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go.
Hey, Mark. Shout out to you, bro.
Let's go! 0-3, baby!
That's what I'm talking about, bro. I'm talking about...
I know you have to leave soon, but that's shit. You feel free. You can swear if you like. This is my podcast. This is the Steelers Nation Australia.
Yeah,
No.
it's really frustrating.
Oh, I gave you an out there. No, it's interesting, mate. Like with the Steelers.
There you go. It's fucking shit.
Yes! All right, g'day Steelers Nation. Welcome to the Ironcast. My name's Mark. I'm your host of Steelers Nation Australia. Without further ado, today we have another guest, which is fantastic. But he's been on the show before, and you guys know him as Britsburgh Owen. Let's bring him in. G'day, mate. What's going on?
Hi, Mark. You up, man?
Oh, mate, I am. You know what? I am not ready. As you know, in the background, I slept in today, guys. I slept in. I'm going here at my time at 9 a.m. I slept into about 8:30, and I went, no, I need to get this out, right? So we need to put up the Steelers Ironcast. Here we go. That's better.
That's nice.
And what is your time, right? What is your time right now for the listeners around the world?
It's 11:15 at night here in the UK.
So you're on. Hey?
These time zones, man. It tips your head out. Australia, England, America. It's like, whoa, what time is it?
So you're on the beers, and
Yep.
I'm on the coffees in the morning, right? Unbelievable. But we are here to talk about the Steelers. But I want to give a quick shout out to Devil if you're still there, mate, in the live chat. I'm doing this every week, and it's slowly picking up on YouTube. But like, I'm not known as a podcasting platform, more known as like just a video platform so far, and it's been picking up. And so's your channel too, right? Britsburgh Owen, how's that going? How's it? Talking Steelers down in UK?
Yeah, it's getting better, man. Getting a few more views on the old YouTube channel. Thanks to some decent advice from a certain Australian dude. But yeah, just dropped a note.
Both you and I got to crash and burn. We're just gonna go. Oh no.
That's the best way to go, mate. It's the best way to go.
Yeah. even if I'm wrong, I still think I'm right. So then I can't lose, right? You know.
That's just been a man, isn't it? We all think we're right.
Oh, and we got Devil here. He says, "Oi, I'll be watching." And Joey Weaver's in the house too. We got a few people here. We got to crack them in, and that to me is enough. Like I've always said from day dot, if it's one person, two people, I don't care. As long as someone's listening, because I used to do live streams all last year, and there was times where no one watched. Like there was like half an hour to 45 to 50-minute periods of no one. And you're like, okay, in the thought process, you're like, do I just keep talking about the team and then hopefully someone watches it after? Or do I just sit back and go, do I wait for someone to come in to like walk into the door? But as Joey brings up here, we'll talk about this right now. Let's change the subject. We have now signed, the Pittsburgh Steelers have signed Carl Davis. What do you think? To back up Tyrann Mathieu, apparently.
Carl Joseph. Yeah.
Joseph. Yeah.
Yeah, depth piece. I mean, the guy was first round pick, wasn't he? Played for the Raiders, played for the Browns.
First round pick, I think, for the Raiders. However, the Raiders can pick anyone. So
yeah, they're pretty rubbish at picking first rounders, aren't they?
yeah,
They pick some
so
weird ones, but no, he's his depth pieces. And the end of the day, he's going to back up whoever we signed a strong safety. He's a better option than I suppose than Killebrew and Norwood maybe in the future, but Norwood's not ready to start now, so at least it gives us a bit of an experience.
Norwood could probably start maybe. I don't know, maybe in 3 or 4 years, see how he goes. But he's playing the slot role too, different role. I kind of like it. He played one snap, I think. I think he played not one snap. Sorry, he had one tackle last year in 2021. Now I was going through Facebook as I started my morning, and I saw a lot of fans saying, not the true passionate Steelers fans, but they were saying, "Oh, what are we doing signing this guy? We should be signing Tyrann Mathieu." Yeah, we get it. We understand that. We need a starter. This guy isn't a starter. He only had one tackle last year. He's just there for depth. He's probably even behind Killebrew, really, when you think about it. He's probably just a guy that can come into on certain downs in nickel packages, in dime and whatever, in the third and 13s where you need a fast guy on the field to cover the third receiver or the fourth receiver or whoever, right? He's not the franchise guy to be at safety. So we need to nip that in the butt, right? But that's Facebook land for you. That some, it's not really over their fault. Some fans just don't understand, or they think, why would you go out and sign these losers? And that kind of annoys me too, because these players are like, they're also practice bodies as well. So the roster has 90 people, Owen, 90. So you got to sign some people, right? And every year, I guess people would complain about, 47 not signing. 37 terrible players because they want everyone to be a big starter. So you're pretty happy with that. So I'm okay with it. Like it's all right.
Yeah, it's decent death pieces. I think what all Steeler fans are, well, not all Steeler, there's a proportion of Steeler fans that always look for that. Oh, now I can kick off. Now I can have that moment. So we've signed this person. But what they've got to remember is as well, no one at the moment is really signing anybody. And the longer it goes with Matthew, with Edmonds, with DeMonte Kazee, whoever, their price is going to go down because no one's picking them up. And that's the thing. The people have got to remember. And, it may be that I'd be happy with getting Edmonds back. The guy's a decent player. He's improved year on year. The best thing to remember with Edmonds is he lets Minka do what Minka be Minka. And that's the key thing. And we can always draft somebody, in the draft like a Britsburgh, a Dax Hill, Lewis Seen, someone like that who could come in and replace Edmonds long term if Edmonds isn't the solution. So, I'm really happy with the signing today.
Yeah, me too. Just a normal, like Jed was saying, a depth piece for the squad. And you need to sign players. Like you can't sign all, you want all 22 starters to be fantastic. But even then, if we go and sign Edmonds, he's maybe not the weakest of the bunch, but he's the guy that kind of fits the role there, right?
Yeah, he does.
If it's a role with the Steelers now, like we have a really good defense with Edmonds coming in. Anyone else you want to see them bring on defense as well, or not really?
I think the only thing that's still concerning me is the whole Tuitt situation. The guy, the fact that there's nothing definite yet. It all seems a bit isn't he still? And I just think we can't afford another season where we're going to be playing this. Is Tuitt going to come back? Is Tuitt not going to come back? And that's the problem.
Sorry. The reason why I stalled there is I'm trying to find a photo. So I want to bring this up.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for another video I'm doing in the next few days. And the defense has always intrigued me, right? It really has. I love it. So I want to bring this up a bit. It should cut us out. This to me is, I made this the other day and I love it, right? I know we're meant to talk about the AFC North, but man, let's just go anywhere we want, right? We got Witherspoon. Now I always start with defensive end Haywood, Alualu, Tuitt, right?
Yeah.
Those are the three starters.
Yeah.
On the outside linebackers, Highsmith, Watt, Miles Jack in the middle, Devin Bush, right? Witherspoon as number 1 corner, Levi Wallace as corner 2, Fitzpatrick as safety or free safety, and then Edmonds as strong safety.
Yeah.
Is that not a top 10 defense right there?
That's a fantastic. That front seven that front seven will scare the living daylights out of anyone. I just want to go honestly. Who's your favorite out of like that? So right now, to me, everything is set besides Edmonds being there. That is set in the top. There's like 10 players that are set. We know that there's complications with Tuitt coming back, right? Yeah.
We want to see him come back, and hopefully, I think he needs to sign a deal next year. Lose on 1 year. Hayward's there, right? Who's your favorite out of that? You know, I know you might say TJ Watt, but besides Watt, who's your favorite? And who's that missing piece we've had? Was it Miles Jack?
Oh, Jack's going to be awesome. I mean, the guy's a tackling machine. He just never stops. I mean, if you look at some of this guy's highlights, I mean, you know, he's defending passes. He's smashing people in the backfield. He's chasing down running backs, smashing them. He's intercepting the ball. He's everywhere. You know, the whole Bush Jack tandem reminds me a bit of the I can't remember the guys' names now, but the two the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had in the season that they won the Super Bowl. You know, mobile, quick middle linebackers.
I don't know who it is either. But was it? It wasn't Tiki Barber, was it? It wasn't that Rondi Barber?
Maybe
Ronald?
David or someone like that. Oh, I can't remember. Buccaneers.
Yeah, you know. You know what though? I like it. If that's our defense, I think we have top 10. I really do, because we need to figure out the Edmund situation. And no, it won't be Kyle Joseph there at safety. Yeah. It won't be Killebrew. They will find someone either in the draft or maybe Edmonds or still Matthews out there too. Now, I want to do the theme of the show today is talking about the AFC North, and then we might get into a bit of the draft, right? Because I need your help because I have no idea about the draft. But first of all, are we the worst team in the AFC North?
No.
Are we?
No, we're not. Because
why?
Because look at that defense. Just look at that defense. I mean, I know the NFL is very quarterback centric these days. I know it's all who can throw the ball the furthest and all this, whatever. But if you've constantly got people in your face, constantly got pressure on you, you cannot go through your reads and you cannot throw the ball how you want to throw the ball. I mean, you look at that front seven of ours. Who are they going to double team? What do they do? Double team to it. Well, that's one on what? Okay, we'll double team what? Well, then to it's going to come through. Okay, we'll double team Hayward. Well, Highsmith's going to get through. You know, it's like it's the stuff of nightmares. I mean, I know you've got Joey Bungle and you've got Deshaun Watson if he plays, and you've got Lamar Jackson. I mean, Lamar Jackson gets smashed by us every time we play them anyway. I mean, I think they haven't beaten us since 2019, and you look at that front seven, it's scary, man.
Yeah, dude, it's really fun. I think the weakest link now, the front seven, is Devin Bush. Really,
yeah.
You know, he needs to get out of his injury, but yeah, right. We have beaten the Ravens now 4 times in a row. I think 4 times in a row. We've beaten the Browns, I think 3 times in a row. We have lost to the Bengals. Lost to the Bengals 3 times in a row, which is weird because we actually had a stat where I think we were winning 12 times in a row.
Yeah.
Bengals, I think we can tie with. Browns, I think we'll beat twice. And I think even the Ravens, we might tie or beat them twice. But it is funny because we are, after all the news with Deshaun Watson and him going to the Browns, and he actually could miss time because of the situation he's in with the jail and stuff. The Browns is the Browns.
Yeah. I mean, I think what you got to remember about Deshaun Watson is there's a real strong likelihood, listening to what Roger Goodell was saying the other day, he's going to miss 6-10 games. Well, then you've got Jacoby Brissett as your starting quarterback.
You know the latest thing they want to bring on? I saw an article the other day. They're like, we actually might need Baker. Baker's going through a massive roller coaster of like, does she love me? Does she need me? like they're treating the guy like dirt, man. They're saying, oh, we won't trade for anyone. He's like, okay. And then the next minute they're like, actually, no, we are going to bring in Watson, but we don't want him. He's like, oh, are you sure? And then he's like, oh, can I go see someone else? And they're like, no, you can't. You can't see anyone else. Then they bring him in, and they say, well, now go see someone else. And now they want him back.
Yeah.
It's like,
but the thing is, though, no one wants Baker Mayfield. That's the thing.
No. You know what? I saw a comment the other day, and there's only one reason I saw it. I can't remember who wrote on my channel, but whoever did, I can't remember who said it, but they said, if the Steelers get Baker, and if the Steelers go win a Super Bowl with Baker Mayfield, then that is the best like ammunition on the Browns ever.
Yeah,
ever, because that's their number one pick, right? That's their number one pick. Like that would be so funny. And I was like, yeah, that would be funny, wouldn't it? I didn't think about that. I was like, no, he's terrible. But if he played well, once he wears the black and gold and he's got a bit of ego around him. But if we're winning, I'm fine. You know, be the idiot that you are. You know, but win. But then if you won the Super Bowl, the Browns would people would lose it. They would not to do.
Well, let's face it, we've already got a space in their heads anyway. We'd be like permanently living there, like a permanent lease.
Yeah, well, there's the one stat I wish we kept. I had my two favorite stats being a Steelers fan was Big Ben owning the record in First Energy Stadium in Cleveland for the amount of time, like forever, right? They owned that for so long, and then eventually Baker caught up and won, I think, 12 games or 13 games, and that record stunk. And my other one was 11,000, I think 111 days or something like that for the Bengals to not win a playoff game.
Yeah.
Now they're both gone. They're both gone. So I have got no more stats. And we still have a stat. The Browns and the Bengals have never been to a Super Bowl. And I'll come back to the same question again. Yeah. So what is the other reasons you think that we are the worst team? Like we are now projected to be the fourth best or the fourth or the worst in the AFC North, right? It's Bengals probably at number one because they're all around the Joe Burrow train. It's Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. However, we've beaten them, and it's Browns next because they bring in a higher price quality quarterback. We don't even know if they can play him yet, right? So why do you think, is it just the NFL media or what's like another reason why you think that we're fourth?
I don't know if you listen to the analyst, it's all this top quarterback malarkey, isn't it? It's because if you haven't got a top quarterback, then you're not a decent team. You're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to win anything. You're not going to get any in the playoffs. But look at this. Look at the Titans. The Titans have won the AFC South with a very average quarterback season in, season out, and have done decent in the playoffs because they've got a decent coach. And we've got the best coach in the AFC. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The guy's a winner. I mean, he dragged that very, very, very average roster to the playoffs last year. The only other coach who may have even got that team anywhere near the playoffs last year would be Belichick, and that would be it. Plus, we've got Najee Harris, who the guy ran 1,200 yards, didn't he? Behind the worst offensive line in one of the worst defensive lines in the AFC and the whole of the NFL. We've got Pat Freiermuth. We've got Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool. I don't think we'll have another stinky horrible season like he did last year. There's plenty of reasons to be optimistic, and it just does my head in when you got all these people going, they're the fourth worst. They're going to be the worst. No, we're not. Whatever.
I don't think so either. We have the third easiest schedule too. Remember that. Brian Brown checks in. G'day, mate. He's awesome. We know him from BTSC, and you've been on there hanging out. We're all Steelers fans here. I don't think so either. I really don't. I think at best we probably maybe third. Sorry, at worst maybe third.
Yeah,
but pushing for that second. G'day, Gene. Pushing for that second too. So it's going to be interesting because this defense is gonna hold us up, right? And I don't know. There's just something about the NFL media is just like we are the worst team, but look at our defense. We're the worst team if our defense doesn't do anything this year, because look at the talent we just showed everyone. The talent that we have on defense is incredible, and I'm growing towards Mitchell Trubisky. I wasn't before. It's been a few weeks, but I'm growing. If he wins number one, which he's gonna probably go that way, then Najee's second year, Muthiny's second year, the offensive line's better. James Daniel comes into the mix. We haven't even got to the draft yet. We have all these players that are young and fit, right?
Yeah.
They're all about 25, 26. And you have the older, hungrier players like Minka, TJ Watt, and Cam. They need to go win a playoff game. I think Cameron Hayward's won one or two.
Yeah.
Was our last ones to win. We've lost 4 in a row now. They need to go out there and do something. We are probably getting rid of Joe Hayden. Thank you, Joe. You've been amazing to watch, but thank you. You'll probably see you later, mate. And that's respectful from both sides, right?
Yeah.
We have 2 corners that Akila Witherspoon played really well near the end of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think in the Viking game, he got 2 interceptions, right?
Yeah.
Now he's got no legs on him. He couldn't run anywhere. He couldn't run very fast, but he's fine. Levi Wallace is a pretty good hard hitting, cornerback. Yeah. And also some other guys too that are just like guys, but like signing Montravius Adams is a good depth piece, and also Millette and Killebrew for special teams. This team will be competitive next year. I think it's actually more I think about it now, bringing in a guy like Trubisky, if he's a game manager, this he's probably in a better position than he was with the Bears. right?
Yeah.
Because the Bears are just a crumbling team. And I don't understand. Like, I'm kind of over. I think it was last year maybe it was last year or 2 years ago. I really, honestly, everyone who I know everyone's got their opinion, but if you think that Mike Tomlin is a bad coach and you want to fire Tomlin, go kick rocks politely. Go kick rocks because he is one of the best coaches in the NFL. And there was that stat I think you told me the other day offline. It was like Belichick has got one, or these other guys have got. Some other coaches have got like one Super Bowl or whatever.
Yeah.
And he has two. And I think we have the what is it? Since 2004, we have the best record. Like we haven't had a losing. We're the only team I think in 20 years or in 18 years that had not have a losing record. Every other team within 5 years has had a losing record. You know what I'm saying? And Brian Brown says here, you are the number one Steelers fan, as always, for being positive and says, competitive, how about winning the Super Bowl next year? I can see it. I can see there's a chance next year just because of the defense. I don't know if you'll hear Brian Brown, but I'll bring it up one more time. Just because of this defense, right? You can't see down the bottom because your comments in the way, but here we go. One second. Haywood, Alu, Tuitt. If they're back and they're on fire, we have a chance. Cornerbacks have a chance. Highsmith, 3rd year. Miles Jack, new to the team. Bush, back from injury. Watt, Fitzpatrick, and Edmonds. I cannot even begin how much fun it's going to watch with this defense, right? And I just don't see it. I just don't see how people are so angry at Tomlin or the AFC North and how we are the worst team. The Ravens lost 6 in a row last year and declined. Come on, man.
I mean, I suppose the one thing for the Ravens this year is they're going to get all their players back. That's one positive for them, I suppose. But I mean, are the Browns substantially better? Apart from, forget Deshaun Watson for a minute, is that Browns roster substantially better than last year's Browns roster? I don't think so. Jarvis Landry has gone. I think they've lost one of their tight ends as well. Okay, Cincinnati have tooled their offensive lineup a little bit. They brought in those 3 players, Karras, Kappa, and someone else. But you know that Bengals team, that much vaunted Bengals team last year, that awful, rubbish, garbage Steelers team with the worst quarterback in the world, according to the NFL media, was half a game back from winning the division last year. Half a game back.
Yeah.
And this coming season, you've got a more mobile quarterback. No one knows at this stage what effect his learning in Buffalo has had on Mitch Trubisky. No one can tell you what he's going to be like when he comes out and actually plays in the starting role. You can't go back on what he did in Chicago because Matt Nagy is just an awful coach. So at the end of the day, I can't see this negativity. I just don't get it. And perhaps I'm being a homer. Perhaps I need to get the black and gold goggles off. But you know,
we're all biased. You know, why I wouldn't have a channel if it wasn't biased. There would be no point talking about the Steelers if I was like, and I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that negative Nancy, always saying, you know, really bad things. But I am very optimistic about this team. But Joey Weaver kind of keeps us in check too, right? And I like these comments too, right? Since the Steelers are going to look so different next year offensively, it's hard to rank these teams because they need to prove who they are. And I agree with that. I think you can't win in the offseason in the free agent period. It looks fancy, it looks great, but the minute we go out there and lay a duck egg and we score 10 points or 13 points a game and get shellacked 35-13, well, there you go. We're in trouble, right? So, it needs to be proven on the field as well, but it is pretty fun to talk about right now that getting the band back together with Alu in the last year and Tuitt going to another year and what he's going through, surely that should be, you know, the grief is, and no offense to him, but we all go through that. The grief must be kind of over or through the period and come back to football, mate. Come back to football, play with your brothers, and we want to see you do well. I think he's a tremendous player too. He's fantastic for this defense. So
absolutely.
While we're on the topic, still, any other reasons before we get into a bit of the draft? Because you're going to help me with the draft because I know nothing about it, right? But any other reasons you think that why we are the worst and does it matter? Does it overly matter? You know?
No, doesn't matter. And I don't think we are. I just don't. I fundamentally disagree that we are the worst because if you look at what were the weaknesses last season that held us back? Run defense. Well, that's improved this coming season, isn't it? Because if we get to it in Alu back, that's going to solidify that center. And if you look at most of the times we got gashed, it was straight down the middle where Tyson would have normally been. What's the other weakness? Immobile quarterback. I love Ben Roethlisberger to bits, but he looked like a 90-year-old man running through cement a lot of the time last season. And Mitch Trubisky is more mobile. And I don't know, I can't believe I'm saying this, even Mason Rudolph is more mobile. You know, at the end of the day, whichever quarterback.
that hurt you, didn't it?
That really hurts. It hurts the soul, man. Do you see him,
though?
Do you see him today with the hunting rifle?
Yeah, he was out there with who was he with? James Farrier.
Yeah, look at this there. I saw a good joke on that. Someone said that, at least the deers and things in Pennsylvania are safe because Mason will either shoot too high, too wide, or too low.
Hey, if he goes out there and wins the Super Bowl, you'd be the first one to buy a Rudolph jersey. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Look, it is funny. I don't think we are the worst. I don't really care because we have so much success as a Steel fan. 6 Super Bowls and we've been to 8 and lost 2. We almost could have won with the Green Bay. But it is funny too because with Big Ben, there's almost that like no one in the world last year could bench him. You couldn't, I couldn't, Tomlin couldn't. No one was allowed to, right? Because he had that stigma, that prestige of being there 18 years. You can't not even if we played that bad, no one was allowed to. Yes, we could whinge about it, but that was never gonna happen. So that could have been, quote, maybe like a wasted year. I don't know. But we still have the chance to go to the playoffs, but maybe the Chiefs beat us anyway. Yeah. Right, we can't get. And now the Chiefs are a bit like, oh boy, they got Juju, but they're a bit everywhere too, man. I actually don't. I don't think. Mark the tape. I don't think the Chiefs win the division next year. I think the Denver. You think Chargers? I reckon Denver. I reckon actually any one of those 4 can win. But I think the Chiefs come down. And you know what I would love to see? I would actually love to see the Chiefs miss the playoffs because they now have one of the hardest divisions in the NFL with Dangerous going over there. And the Raiders are always they're sneaky, man. They're like really they're like a bad team, but they're getting a bit better over there, and they're playing in Las Vegas now, the big show. So I could see them doing something, but I could see also the Chiefs missing the playoffs because why not? They lost a lot of players, and they've I just don't really see with them anymore. But back to the Steelers. So we've ended that, right? We are so we're the worst, aren't we? But you know what? I don't care. I don't care if we're the worst. Because we can always play better, And I think the stigma comes down to we're just not winning the playoff games. Like we've lost 4 in a row. That sucks. You can't do that.
Yeah.
My thing is you have to win this season again. And like I don't want to wait another year to go to the playoffs. I want to go. We are spoiled, but I want to go to the playoffs this year, and I want to cheer them on and beat whoever. If we're at home or if we're versing Miami or whoever, I want to go versus them and win. We have to win one game. TJ Watt needs playoff win. And he does kind of go away sometimes in the playoffs. But, yeah, I don't care if we're 4th because I think we have a chance to win the division. I think our defense will keep us in. And I think Najee Harris will break out next year. And I think Trubisky, his skill set, it is better. It is better than Rudolph. But, you got to give I want to see the illusion of competition. It's like, oh, here's the reins, mate, But besides that, we had a few questions. Where was I? Yeah, here we go. This is you can help me with the draft stuff because there's just too many. I don't know how you do it, mate. If the Steelers take a running back, who do you think would fit? I don't even know who the running backs are.
Running backs. I think my preference wouldn't be draft. My preference would be veteran to back up Najee. Someone like Marlon Mack, Philip Lindsay. They're still out there. But if you're looking draft, then you're going to be looking 4th, 5th, 6th round, maybe. So guys like who's in the draft that's decent now, lower on? Tyler Goodson out of Iowa. He's about 5'9", but he's lightning quick. He is absolutely lightning fast, and would be that change of pace back that we need that McFarland isn't. There's a guy called Tyler Allegier, I think, as well. He's another decent change of pace back. The wonderfully named Sincere McCormack.
Yeah, cool.
Another one, possible change of pace back. Pierre Strong, another one. But in terms of running back, I think I would look for a free agent veteran to back up Najee, someone with a bit more experience. I think there's enough other needs for the Steelers to address in the draft with the fact we've only got 7 picks rather than looking the draft for running back. And like I said, someone like a Marlon Mack, Philip Lindsay, Sony Michel. Someone like that would be perfect, I think, to back up Najee and would probably be happy with 10 to 15 carries a game.
Are we done? Are we done with Snell? Are we done with Ballage? And are we done with Ant McFarland? I think they got 100 yards between them. You know, I did a video the other day. They got Najee Harris had 85% of the snaps.
Yeah.
And the other two had 15% between them. And Ant McFarlane, I think, had like 1%.
If you look at what their stats last year, what was it? Snell was 36 attempts, 98 yards, which is average of 2.7 yards a carry. Ballage was 12 attempts, 36 yards, and Ant Mac was 3 attempts, 3 yards. That was it.
So are we like the Ant Mac train has always been like, you know, Mighty Mouse or running on his feet, like where's he going? And you want to wish him luck and do all the best. And he's wearing 26 as well. But at what time do we just bring in a key veteran who we know can work with the offense, and a key running back that can be like you know, Najee, go and do your thing, but the next minute we hand it off to this bloke, he's going to help us get 6 yards or 5 yards and get the first down. Or who's going to do that?
I think that's why it's got to be an experienced veteran like a Michelle, like a Lindsay, like a Mac, someone who you know you can trust, who's proven at the NFL level to get you 5-6 yards when you need it on that third down if he comes in to spell Najee, or first down if we're spelling Najee for that period. Because, you know, was it Najee 381 touches last year?
Yeah, 85%, bro. 85%. He
can't do that season in, season out. He's going to be dead by the end of his 5 years. No use to us at all. Then
needs to be about 70%. And Eli says here, Tomlin refuses to use the backup running backs for some reason. I don't know why either. But there was maybe the Snell needs to get a bit of a groove. But I just didn't see anyone do anything last year. No. Like none of them at all.
But
so
Ballage, I think Ballage is a power back, and he's not as good as Najee. Najee's a power back. McFarland falls over his own feet. He was a healthy scratch. That shows the confidence they've got in him. And he doesn't provide enough on special teams to justify that. And Snell is awful. I mean, even when the season when we didn't have Najee, when Snell played, the guy was running into the back of his own blockers, for goodness sake. I mean, that's how he's not up to. What did he do last season that showed you that he was any promise at all?
Just shows you too how much difference the college game is to the NFL. If he goes really well in college, we can't go anywhere in the NFL. Now we'll move on to some other questions too. From Joey Weaver says here, what do you see us doing at 20 in the draft?
You know what? At the moment, all of it seems to be around getting a quarterback at 20, whether it's Willis, Pickett, Ridder, whatever. I think for me, I'd like to see them take a wide receiver or a cornerback, because wide receiver, you get a wide receiver, you get someone on a 5-year deal. You know, Deontay Johnson's deal is up after this year. Chase Claypool's is up after the year after. Are we going to definitely re-sign those two? I don't know. But you look at the depth at wide receiver, the quality that's coming out of college this year. You know, in that first round, you've got the likes, you know, I think likes of Jameson Williams and Garrett Wilson, they'll be gone. I mean, they're not going to be there at 20. But you've got a chance of people like Chris Olave out of Ohio State. He's fast. He's the sort of receiver the Steelers need. Jahan Dotson, who I'm a massive fan of, because my Penn State is my college team. Again, he's very quick. He's very much in the Antonio Brown mold. He can contribute on the ground, contribute in the return game. And if you're looking for a cornerback one, if someone like Andrew Booth Jr. from Clemson falls to 20, he would be an absolute godsend.
I was just going to say, mate, you can't pick them all. All right, you got to pick one. Yeah. No?
I'm just going to personally, if it was me, if I was Colbert, and if someone like Chris Olave is there at 20, I would take Chris Olave.
That is one guy I've been trying to look. The big reason why I don't follow the draft too much with the players, I love the whole thing, but it's just so much time. It's so much time to look into them. But I did look. It was last night. I was like trying to see who we would take. I thought receivers a need, right? I looked up Olave. He looks pretty good. I did see a few highlights. I'm like, this guy is fast. Like, he catches the ball and he's like, oh, he looks like he's got at his top speed. No, he's not. He's not. He's like the Chris Johnson, where he just went bam, you know. So I like the way that he plays too. With his he's got good route running ability, good catching, presence on the field. He just seems super quick. He seems like a really sneaky kind of like Deontay Johnson too. I think he said he's about 5'9" or 6 something like that. But I would be happy for them to bring in a receiver, because then, you know, Trubisky's got a number one guy, right?
Yeah.
Or can develop with a new receiver. How fun would it be to not only develop with Claypool, Deontay, Anthony Miller, and then bring in a rookie too? like bring in a rookie as well and say, hey, look, where am I going to go? And I think actually the odd man out might be Claypool. I don't know where he kind of fits in this team, but he needs to kind of pull his head in and say, let's get down to business. Now, Joey Weaver says here also, are we 100% getting by with Alualu and Stephon Tuitt? Yeah, is that right?
Yeah,
Tuitt, yeah.
I think there's definitely a need for defensive tackle there in the draft. Looking second round, third round, we've got to try and get younger. I mean, Cam's 33 next year. Alualu's 35. Tuitt, I think, is 27. I think. There's a lot of depth there at defensive tackle. You're going to have guys in the second and third round who could be available. Guys like Travis Jones out of UConn, who is absolute beast. DeMarvin Leal from Texas A&M. Zach Carter, Perrion Winfrey, Fedarian Mathis out of Bama. There's some real depth in that defensive tackle. And I think we do need to get younger. And I would like to see her take a defensive tackle in the second or third round.
I'm going to change it here. Brian Brown brings up a really good point, and it just made me think: is Miles Killebrew the new Steelers' new strong safety? Because we did sign Kyle Joseph. Is Kyle Joseph meant to be that special team guy, that backup? Whereas is Killebrew going to fill in for that Edmonds role? And he's not at Edmonds, but he did start. He started with the Lions back in the day, and he doesn't need to be the best on this team. He just needs to be good. What are your thoughts on that? Would he start next to Minka, or is there no chance?
There's a possibility there. There's a possibility, but it depends on what happens in this free agency period or in the draft. I still think they've got something up their sleeve as regards Edmonds or someone else. I don't think they'll start Killebrew. I think they see Killebrew as being far too important on special teams. I don't think he could do a job. He'd be very, very much an average, but would he be the weak spot? I don't know. That's a slight concern.
But it's kind of funny though, is there a weak spot really when we have 10, the front seven is amazing. The front seven is amazing. So how can it be, you could even say that Witherspoon or Wallace could be weak spots too, but they will have more time to get around the defense and around the offense too, because what's going to happen to these quarterbacks are going to be under pressure.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Killebrew would be starter for the whole year. They're going to go to the draft. I had a thought. Now, call me crazy because I was going to do a video about this, but I was like, nah, people will just turn away. Would the Steelers ever trade up to go get Hamilton? Is he the safety from Notre Dame? Would they do that?
Awesome.
Would they do that? They wouldn't do that at all.
I don't think they will. I think, given the fact that, I don't know whether Notre Dame had their pro day yet. I haven't heard that mentioned. I think looking at what's coming out of the Steelers at the moment, it's very much going to be quarterback or receiver in that first round. I can't see them going and getting Hamilton. As much as I'd love it to happen, he is absolutely awesome. The guy's been talked of as generational, as he's been talked of as a Hall of Famer already. That's how highly he's been thought of at the moment.
That's what I'm saying. So, is there a world where that happens and they trade with the Lions or someone like the third team, whoever's the third team there? Do they do that? Does that happen?
I suppose there's every chance, there's possibility. There's history there, isn't there? Devin Bush, they traded up to get Devin Bush, didn't they? When they saw obviously that he was the new Ryan Shazier, so they thought.
Because that to me, look, I want to bring it up then because I'm going to quote myself. I like making it. That's pretty sick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Imagine if you had how do you pronounce his name? Hamilton, right?
Hamilton, Kyle Hamilton.
Imagine if you had Hamilton there. That's set, isn't it? That set? Isn't that set? A new safety, a young safety who's going to get burnt a few times, but he's like elite, right? That to me would be that'd be like the craziest move the Steelers could do, but it'd be a fun move. And maybe they've got to give away next year's first round or something like that. But it seems like they're cashing in on defense this year because they know that they just I want to see them not allow team to score more than 20 points, 23 points. So I don't know. It could be crazy to happen.
It depends if they're going to focus on defense in the draft, and they could very well take a defensive tackle in the first round and a safety in the second. You're looking second round safeties possible for guys who are going to fall the second round. Daxton Hill, the guy's been described as like a young version of the Honey Badger. Guy out of Michigan, and the other guy, Jaquan Brisker out of Penn State. He is a beast, absolute beast of a player. He hits. He's got great football IQ. He's fast. He's just quality. So there's two other players there they could draft in. Britsburgh would be brilliant alongside Minka.
Another question for you. Are we in a better spot than we were last year? We all knew we were going Najee, but, Big Ben's last year. Are we in a better spot, you think?
What, in terms of the draft?
Draft-wise.
Yeah, I think, there's so many. I think, people have talked obviously about the quarterback class being weak this year and whatever, but there's so much quality in other areas in this draft class. The wide receivers, the cornerbacks, the safeties, the defensive tackles. There's so much talent there. With not having a definite need, I think we are in a better way. We can go out and get the best player available that we need for a position that we need. And by best player available, I mean a best player available for our position of need, not the best player available who's on the board.
Exactly. Yeah, and I don't know, because a lot of years I watch the draft, we always seem to go to the O-line too, right? So I don't know if we go to the O-line. If I'm pushing more away, I know it sounds hard. Like this is the same with you with Rudolph. I'm starting to like the idea of Trubisky just being the guy for 2 years. Why do we need a quarterback? If Pickett's there or Malik's there, why do we need him? Do we go out and get someone else, the receiver or the defense? That way you can shore it up. You know what I'm saying? We're going to end it very soon. Is there anything else you want to see in this draft happen, like the second round or the first round? You think, is there a lock for the first round? You think, or is it still wide open?
I think it's wide open. Last year we all knew it was going to be Najee Harris. If he was there, it's Najee. Not even a chance it was not going to be. But this year, I honestly, I couldn't say whether it's going to be a receiver, whether it's going to be a quarterback, a cornerback. I think if Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett fall to 20, then I think they will probably take them. Personally, I wouldn't want Pickett, but I'm probably
just a question too, right? If they go and take Malik or Kenny Pickett, do they help us this year? That's the thing. Do they help us this year or next? You know what I'm saying?
Pickett possibly this year. Willis, no way. No, Willis is. Most analysts say Willis is 2 years away from being an NFL starter.
Right, because I get the feeling what they've been doing this offseason, the Steelers are trying to go in all in this year and next year.
Yeah,
and that's why I get the feeling of the offense of bringing in Trubisky. So, what about second round or day 3? Any more people stand out?
I think there's a real chance that the likes of if they are so determined to get themselves a quarterback this year, there is a chance that Ridder. There is a chance that Corral could fall to second round, given the fact that there is so much talent in the other skill positions, that Willis and Pickett are probably going to go first round. So, it could be a situation that Ridder falls to that second round and they can get their quarterback that way. And Ridder for me, I think would only take a year to develop and will be perfect to sit behind Trubisky and learn. It could be very similar to that Alex Smith-Mahomes situation in Kansas City. But the second round, again, I think there's going to be so much quality there. They're going to be spoiled for choice. You're going to have the likes of, if they don't take a receiver in the first round, you're still going to have the likes of George Pickens, Sky Moore, Christian Watson. Cornerbacks, you're probably going to have the likes of Trent McDuffie, Roger McCreary, Kyler Gordon. There's just so much talent there. I couldn't honestly say that it's going to be this person and this person. I genuinely just couldn't be pinned down.
I agree. There is a lot of talent there that I have no idea about. So you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job on Britsburgh, Owen.
Yeah.
And you also may have you may have an opportunity to help me out on the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate coming up very shortly. So we'll talk about that in the future. You're going great, man. You're doing really good stuff with
Thank you.
Man, you know more, like, dude, I don't even know why I have a channel, to be honest. Like I just like seeing people smash someone, you know what I'm saying? I am just like, I want a whole team full of Debos. Like James Harrison's. Like that's all I want. It's just like James Harrison at quarterback, at running back, at kicker, at long snapper, punter. I still love those moments with I think it was Debo in the Monday Night Football when he just went out and he just blew everyone apart. Like he just blew everyone up. Like he was just on fire. Like he got 3 sacks, interceptions, touchdowns. Yeah, I don't know why I have one. You're very knowledgeable. You know your stuff about Pittsburgh. You understand that we aren't the 4th best. We are maybe second, like maybe 3rd, second. So yeah. Thanks, man, for coming on, and also thanks everyone for checking out the Ironcast, and we'll be back next week with hopefully. I got talks with another bloke from France. I got talks with another bloke from Germany. I might be able to get, if people do know, I'm in talks with the Steelers mascot Troy. You know that bloke, right?
He's awesome. He's a
a
great
legend.
guy.
Yeah.
He is,
So
yeah.
I'm trying to get him in there. I think who else did I have in there? It was France, Germany. Yeah, those three blokes. So I'm trying to work a few things out. I want to bring in everyone I can from all around the world so we can all just talk Steelers. But I think Steelers Troy might be the next person I can get. And I never got to meet Troy. I was meant to go over to the Hall of Fame, and I was like, man. So next best thing is to bring in Steelers mascot Troy, and we all remember him on the Hall of Fame, the video when he went and did his big flag and he ran all around.
Yeah.
I can already tell. I'm getting chills on my back. It's not even the real Troy, but I reckon he's going to be fire. Like he's super fun to talk to. You're awesome to talk to, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks everyone for coming on the Steel Nation Australia and checking us out. If you do like us, hit the sub, do whatever you want, like, share. You guys know what to do. All right, guys. As always, here we go, Steelers. Here we go. G'day Pittsburgh Steelers fans, g'day Steelers Nation Australia, g'day Steelers Nation Worldwide, g'day Steelers Nation Universe. Jeez, that guy's still a loser. The real tight spot and Christian cunts, they go together. They go together like cheese and wines. G'day mate, how's it going? How are you?
It's going great, Mark. How are you today?
Yeah, good man. I'm I need to know your name. I don't know your fucking name. What is your name?
I've actually told you my name before when we were in.
Yeah?
When you were in my chat, yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't think you have.
Well, I'm following your page on. We talked already via chat.
I don't remember.
Because I like the page with my real name. Remember?
Oh, I do, but I don't. I've had a few beverages. Let me guess. You talked to me yesterday. John.
Yeah.
That's not. Is it John?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, Mark. Shout out to you, bro.
Let's go! 0-3, baby!
See, that's what I'm talking about, bro. I'm talking about.
Don't complete it all.
I know you have to leave soon, but that's shit. You feel free. You can swear if you like. This is my podcast. This is the Steel Nation Australia.
Yeah,
No.
it's really frustrating.
Oh, I gave you an out there. No, it's interesting, mate. Like with the Steelers.
There you go. It's fucking shit.